Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how you can make this kind of a beautiful lace bracelet. It's easy to make and even beginners can make it. All you need is a little bit of lace, a needle and some embellishments, and also a few jewelry findings. But I'll show you the process in more detail. So let's get on to it. So in order to make your beautiful lace bracelet, you will obviously need some lace. I have here Paper Mania's Vintage Notes lace borders. There's 4 different designs here, and I'm going to use this one, which is the widest. And in order for you to be able to attach this around your wrist, you're also going to need something that's called either a ribbon end or a ribbon crimp, or I've also heard ribbon crimp end, and they look something like this. There are many different designs available, many different sizes. I'm not sure what size this is. I bought this a long time ago. And you will obviously need 2 of these. And as you can see, it has these small teeth inside. And that makes that when you close it around your lace, it really holds on tight. You can also add some glue in there, in between there, in order to make it stay really securely. And then of course it has this little loop here, and to this loop you will then attach the clasp. You would obviously need to have these ribbon crimps as wide as your lace. However, if you compare this, you can see that this is not as wide as my lace, and I will show you a trick how you can use a smaller crimp here onto a lace that's a little bit wider. I'm going to start off by showing you how you can use this smaller ribbon end to a bigger lace that I have here, and it involves some gluing. I have some strong glue here, and I have this, I don't know what you would call this, maybe a barbecue stick or something like that here to help me. If your end is badly frayed, cut off the frays first. And I should say, of course, that I have already measured that this will fit my wrist. And I took the measurement just by wrapping this around my my wrist like this. And remember that the clasp will bring some extra to this. So don't make this too big, otherwise it will come over your hand. So make it rather a little bit tight, because don't forget the clasp and all the extra length that this one brings you. So let me start here. We have a little bit of there. I have a little bit of fray here, so I'm thinking of maybe cutting a little bit off, and I can afford to do this because I cut this slightly bigger. There we go. Taking my felt away there in order to do some cleaning. Okay, so my glue, you can use super glue here if you want to. That will always be very durable. You don't need a lot of glue here, so let me put a little bit. This glue is it's horrible color. It's a real like snot color, but we'll use it because that's what I have. And then I'll just, this one thankfully takes a long time to dry, so I can use that. There we go. Let's put the other one on top. And obviously I need to hold them here now for a while for them to stay there. And since I don't want to make you watch me hold this here for a good while and then do the other end as well, I'm going to stop here and return to you once I've glued both ends, and then I'll show you how I'll attach that ribbon end. Alrighty, so right now the ends of my lace have hardened and the glue has dried. Now this is still a little bit long, this particular end here, and I want to make it a little bit shorter so that when I put my ribbon end here, I won't have so much of a neck here. So I'm just gonna pick some scissors and cut just a little bit off from there. You don't have to take a lot, but this way you get a much nicer end that you can then put this on, so it'll sit there much more nicely. And in order for it to really stay there really well, I'm just gonna put a little drop of this glue there. Remember, you don't need much, that's plenty. And I'm going to take my little craft stick and just spread it there. There we go. And then take my crimp and that way and place it there like that. Take a pair of pliers. These are chain nose pliers. You can have either a tapered nose or then a straight one, and just press that closed. Let me see. There we go. And sometimes you can get a few little marks here. I usually do get a couple of marks here. I don't care about that, but I know that some people are very careful about not getting any marks on the metal. If you are one of those people, then spend a lot of time there doing this. I'm not going to do that because I just want to get this done. And I really don't care about it. It's not completely straight here, but doesn't matter. I already did the other end and it looks okay. I'm just gonna do a couple more strengthening pulls here. There we go. So now I have the ends done, and the next part then is starting to actually put our embellishments here. So I'm not going to add the clasp yet because it's just going to be, why put it now? It's just going to bother you when you're sewing things onto this. So let me pick on a couple of embellishments, and the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to design this. I'm just going to pick my embellishments like these flowers here, and I'm going to start putting them here, imagining, okay, I'm going to put that there and this one there. Then what would I add here in the middle and all that? And I'm going to design it before I actually sew it on. So that's what I'm going to do now. And once I have my design ready, I'll come. So I have a Swarovski crystal there, and then I have a button, and then I have this. This is an organza rose. Originally, I bought this for my dollhouse, or these. I have several. I've originally bought these. Okay, we're not. No, there we go. So originally I bought this for my dollhouse, but now I'm using them here as well. So I have an organza rose on both sides, and then I have these little felt flowers here. I've got a turquoise and a pale green one. Then I have another set of or pair of Swarovski crystals here, and then I have this design here. In the middle, it's not attached. The pin there marks the midpoint of my bracelet. That's a good tip to have. If you need to center anything, then put that on there. So what I have here is I have a button and I have silk ribbon going through it. And I'm placing it here in the middle, and I've designed it so that the flowers will be right there, so that you can't really see the end of the ribbon. So these flowers will be on top, so you can only just see a little bit of the ribbon there. This is the design, and I'm going to start sewing it now. Just a basic sewing needle, although if you use beads you might have to use a beading needle, because sometimes the bead holes are so small that you can't get through with a regular sewing needle. But I'm just gonna hand sew all of this, and let's see how this design changes, or if I'm going to keep it the way it is here. Exciting. So after I have sewn this on, I'm going to come back. So here is my finished design. It ended up being a lot like I planned it to be. And in the middle here, I've got this button and the silk ribbon going through it. You can't see the silk ribbon a lot, but it's there. I actually glued that on because I didn't want any stitch marks showing there, so I just glued it on. And then I put these felt flowers here. Those I sewed on. And then I put these organza roses. Those I sewed on as well. And then I put these two buttons and I sewed those on too. And lastly, I put these Swarovski crystals here. And I promised to show you how you can attach these Swarovski crystals. So let me show you that. What I have here is I have a crystal and I have some seed beads. Let me pick one up from there. Let's pick that one. Your seed bead needs to be big enough so that it won't like go into that little hole there, so that it will kind of stop the bead from falling. That's what it is about. And start off by coming through your fabric wherever you want to put your Swarovski crystal, and then put your needle through the crystal. And here you might have to use beading needle as I'm using. And then what you will do is you will take your seed bead. Oops, I seem to have lost mine. There it is. So you take your seed bead like this. Let me bring that closer. Your seed bead. And then without going through the seed bead, you will actually go again through this crystal and through the fabric from the same spot as where you started, like that. And if you want to secure that, you might want to do that 2 times. So do this whole thing 2 times, but that's the way that you attach a crystal or something, a bead that has a bigger hole onto fabric. And obviously then you would tie it from this other side. But that was it. That was how I did it. Okay, let me take these off, and I want to show you lastly how I am going to add my clasp. So the clasp that I want to have for this is here. I'm going to bring it here. It's a very regular claw clasp here. And what I also have here, I have 2 jump rings, and I have a little piece of chain here. This chain is optional. You don't have to put a chain into yours. I just like to do that because that way it doesn't have to be an exact fit, because you have the chain and you can attach it at different lengths. So there's not much left actually here. I have these loops at the ends of my bracelet here, and in order to attach the clasp there, I need to pick one of my jump rings, and I need to have 2 sets of pliers. I need to have 2 sets of either chain nose pliers or I don't remember what you call these that have a straight looking, but anyway, they need to be smooth from the inside. 2 chain nose pliers is fine. And you open this up by pushing one side away from you and pulling one side towards you. So not to the sides, but like that. And then you place this here in the loop, and you also place your clasp. You don't have to use a claw clasp, it's just something that I'm using here. And then you do the same thing. Now you pull these together. Pull and push, whatever you want to say. There we go. So that part is now done. And let's do the other part, and this time we're going to put in this chain. So the same thing, opening up a jump ring. And the size of the jump ring is of course totally up to you. You can use various sizes of jump rings here. There we go. Let's close that. There we go. So basically this is actually now done. Let me find the claw there and attach it. And you can attach it to any one of these like this. But here is my finished bracelet, and as you can probably realize by now, you can make these in so many different styles. You can use a lot of different embellishments. I didn't use any seed beads here. I like seed beads, and I was planning to maybe put some seed beads like in strands here throughout, but then I decided not to. Maybe next time. But it's just, you need to just experiment and try and see what you like. And I like this one that I now made, and I hope that you will try this, and I hope that you will have a bracelet that you really love. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye!